Hi, today we're looking at section 5-7, Slope-Intercept Form. So, take something out to write notes on, pause the video anytime to write your notes, and again, complete the check it out questions. You will want graph paper as you have with all of these lessons so far. We have two learning targets today. The first one, I can write a linear equation in slope-intercept form, and the second, I can graph a line using slope-intercept form. So far we've had two ways to graph a line. If you know the 2 points that are on the line, we can plot those 2 points and draw a line. Or we can use a slope of the line and the point that contains the y-intercept. So there are two ways. You start with the y-intercept, plot that point, and then we go from there with the slope. So in this example, we want to graph the line given the slope and the y-intercept. So our slope is -2/5. And our y-intercept is 4. Keep in mind our y-intercept is a point. It's the point when x is 0, y is 4. So we start with that's the first point we plot. So we go x is 0, y is 4, and we put that point there. Now we look at our slope, because every point has to have the same slope. So we're going to, if we go down to 1, 2, our y was negative, our x must be positive to run +5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's our point. We can go down to again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and plot the other point. So we have 3 points. We could have gone up 2, so y been positive and our x be negative, but in this case we've been off the graph. So let's draw a line connecting those points. So connecting those points, this is the line we get. So remember, we started with our y-intercept. Then we ran down 2, or we rose down -2, and we ran out 5. We went down 2, and we went over 5. That's how we got our points in there. So here's your check it out. Again, start with your y-intercept, plot those points first, and from there, rise and run based on your slope. So here is our slope-intercept form for a linear equation. You've probably heard this, your friends talking about it, y equals mx plus b. The letter m represents our slope, and the b is our y-intercept. Again, where does it cross the y-axis? So many times when you have a slope-intercept form, you can immediately pull the slope out and the y-intercept, very similar to those problems you just looked at. And so it makes it easy to graph. So here we have 3 examples. We want to write these all in slope-intercept form. Write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Keep in mind, slope-intercept form is in the form y equals mx plus b. So y equals, our slope is 1/4. So this goes into here. X plus our y-intercept is 4. So that goes there. So this becomes our equation, y equals 1/4 x plus 4. Our second example, we're given a slope of -9 and a y-intercept of -5/4. So again, we just plug those values into here. Y equals, our slope is -9, x plus our y-intercept, which is a -5/4. And that becomes our equation for the line. And our third one, we're given a slope of 2, and we're given a point on the line. So this is going to require a little bit more work. So with this one, we know we can plug in, this is our x1, and our y1 is our point. So we know that y is going to be 4, is going to equal our slope of 2 times x, which is 3, plus our y-intercept. So our 3 was our x, and we plugged in 4 for our y, and we put in 2 for our slope. So now we can solve this equation for b. We get 4 equals 6 plus b. Subtract 6 from both sides. b is going to equal a -2. So now we have our y-intercept, and we have our slope. So we can write the equation for this line. y equals 2x plus a negative 2. So again, when you're given a point, plug in your x and your y terms into this. And again, the only thing we don't know is b. So we're solving for b. And this becomes our equation for that line. Now let's look at it when we have a graph. We want to write the equation that describes the line in slope-intercept form. So we're given 2 points. We can look here, we see that our y-intercept is at the point 0, 3. That's our y-intercept, which means in this equation y equals mx plus b, b equals 3. It's got to equal that value there. And our slope now, if we started here at negative 4, went from negative 4, I'm sorry, we started here at 1, we went from 1 up to 2, up to this point. So we went rows 1, and we went over 2. So our slope equals, we went up 1, and we went over 2. So our slope is 1/2, which means m equals 1/2. So now we have our slope. We can plug everything into here, leaving us with our equation. Y equals our slope of 1/2 times x plus 3. And that becomes our equation. Okay, so you have 3 check-it-outs to do following that example. The first 2 you're given the slope and the y-intercepts, and the second one you're given, or the third one you're given a slope and a point on the line. So you can figure out how to write the equation for that. Bring any questions to class? Now we want to write the equation slope-intercept form and then graph the line described by our equation. Again, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. M is our slope, b is our y-intercept. So our first example, y equals 3x minus 1, this is already in slope-intercept form. So our y-intercept is at the point 0, negative 1, and our slope equals 3. And it's a negative 1 because it's 3x minus 1, which would be the same as saying 3x plus a negative 1. So b is 1, or negative 1. So to plot this point, we start with our y-intercept, which is 0, negative 1. We put that point here. Then we can go up 3. We rise 3, 1, 2, 3, and go over 1. Plot that point. We can go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1, and then draw our line. So again, connecting those points, and remember our slope, we started our y-intercept, we went up, we rose 3, and we ran 1 to get our next point, or to go down below, we went down 3 and over 1, so they're both negative in that case. Let's look at our second example. b equals 2y plus 3x equals 6. This is not in that form, so we need to solve this equation for y. So solving this equation for y, we're going to get, we have to subtract 3x from both sides, giving us 2y equals negative 3x plus 6. Divide every term by 2. So our equation becomes y equals negative 3/2 x plus 3. Again, our first point that we plot is our y-intercept, which is at the point 0, 3. So we're going to put our first point there. Then our slope, if we go down 3, 1, 2, 3, we have to go positive x to the right 2. If we go up 3, 1, 2, 3, we have to go this way 2. This is going to be a negative slope, so it's got to be decreasing or falling. Let's plot or draw the line in. Okay, so drawing our line in, but just again to check, make sure we've got it right. Let's see, so from here, we went down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 2. We went up 1, 2, 3, and over 2. That would work. And so we did good there. Now you have 3 check-it-outs to do. Again, write each of those in slope-intercept form, and then draw the line or graph the line. Now for an application, a closet organizer charges $100 for initial constellation fee plus $30 per hour. The cost is a function of the number of hours worked as graphed. and it's shown right here. Write an equation that represents the cost as a function of the number of hours. So let's take a look at the graph. Okay, so our cost, write an equation that represents the cost as a function of numbers. So we look over at the graph. When x is 0, y is 100. So we know our y-intercept is going to be 100. And we're told it's $3 per hour. So $3 is going to be our constant, or our rate of change. X and y is dependent on x. So y equals 30x plus 100 is our equation. So now, what does the y-intercept mean? The y-intercept is 100. That means it's going to cost $100 at 0 hours. So just not even having any hours worked on it for initial consultation, you're outright paying $100 without any time put into it. The slope, as we see here, is 30. So that means it's $30 an hour, which we're told up here, $30 an hour, which is going to be our slope. So when they work 12 hours, so it means x equals 12, plug this in. We got our 12 in here. Solving, we get y to be 460, so that means for 12 hours work, it's going to cost you $460 for this consultation. Here's your check it out looking at catering fees. So to summarize our lesson, you need to understand and have in your notes and be able to use our slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Again, m is our slope and y is the y-intercept. To graph an equation in this line, we always start with our y-intercept. So we go to the point 0b, and this is our b here, our y-intercept. From there, we take our slope, which is m, and we rise and run whatever our slope is. Keeping in mind, when you have a fraction, if you have an integer, so our slope equals 5, that's the same as saying our slope equals 5 over 1. We'd rise 5 and run 1. So bring any questions you have to class, and thank you.